Gopal, Jai Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Anyone there?
Yes.
Okay, Revati. Hare Krishna. Okay, Om Gyan Divrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yenha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Adharanasram Dantaridam Acha Punah Punah Shri Madhupa Padam Bhoja Lisyam Janma Janmani अनर्पितचरिं चिरात् कर्ण्यावतीर्णा कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतो जगत्सांस भक्तिश्रियम् हरिपुरुषसुन्दरद्युतिः कदम्बसन्दीपितः सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्फुरतुभाषिचिनन्दनः संसारदुःखजलधौ परितस्य कामः क्रोधानिन क्रमकरे कवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासना निगडितस्य निराश्रयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्रमोदेहि पदावलम्बम् सर्वप्रथम अस्मदे गुरुपाद पद्मनितला पृष्ठ जगत गुरु शिष्य भक्तिदाद नारायण गोसाई महाराज त्रिंडी स्वामी शिष्य भक्तिदाद दंडी महाराज नाम निष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्धास प्रभु जी और समस्त वैष्णव के चरणों में मेरा यथागत दंडवत प्रणाम अर्पण करता हूँ, उनकी कृपा की प्रार्थना करता हूँ। तो टुडे वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग वेरी ऑस्पिशियस डे, श्री गौर पूर्णिमा, एंड चैतन्य महाप्रभु very merciful. Avatirne Gauracharane Vistirne Prema Sagari. Yena Majjanti Majjanti Te Mahanartha Sagari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He is Krishna himself, but he has especially come for the fallen jivas. Because here Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj is telling that Prathameta Sutra Rupe Kariye Ganana Panche Taha Vistari Kariba Vivarana. First, let me give you a synopsis of the Lord's pastimes, then I shall describe them in detail. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Navadvya Bhavatari Ata Chalisha Vatsara Prakata Vihari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip Dham. Now this Navadvip Dham is very glorious. Srila Gurudev says that Aradhitam Navavanam Brajakananaste Naraditam Navavanam Brajeva Dure Aradhito Dijasuta Brajanagaraste Naradhito Dijasutena Taveha Krishna. So he said that what is the value of austerities performed by sages like Durvasa if they haven't worshipped Bhagwan, and if they don't see Bhagwan everywhere, and if one does see Bhagwan within every living entity and everywhere outside as well, then what is the use of any other austerities besides that form of worship? So basically Krishna is everywhere in the heart of all living entities, but he is personally present. He is personally present in Navadvip Dham as Sachinandan Gaurahari. So he is very magnanimous incarnation. 1407 शाके जन्मेर प्रमाण 1495 हैल अंतर्धान. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the year 1407 of the Shaka era, means AD 1486. 1486. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, and in the year 1455 he disappeared from this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very merciful, and he appeared in Navadvip Dham. He appeared in Navadvip Dham. Aradhito Navavana Braje Anunaste Naradhito Navavana Brajeva Dure Aradhito Dhyasuta Brajanagaraste Naradhito Dhyasutana Taveha Krishna. If you worship the 9 islands of Navadvip, you are actually worshipping Vrindavan and can easily gain entrance into that confidential place. If you don't worship, take shelter of Navadvip Dham, Vrindavan will be far away from you. If someone will worship Dvijasuta, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of the Brahman Jagannath Mishra, that person will attain Vrajanagar, Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. If one worships Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is actually Krishna himself in Navadvip, one is performing complete worship of Krishna. Worshipping Sachinandan Gaurahari in Navadvip is as good as worshipping Krishna in Vrindavan. If one does not worship Dvijasuta Gaurahari, Lord Krishna will be very far away. Navadvip Dham is especially noteworthy for the confluence of 5 rivers, Panchaveni. If one dives into Panchaveni, one will surface in the Yamuna river at Keshighat in Vrindavan. Gaurangira Sangigani Nitya Siddha Kori Manasi Jaya Vrajendra Sutapash. And if one understands that Mahaprabhu's associates are eternally perfect, one will attain the lotus feet of Rajendranandan Shyam Sundar Krishna. Oh, amazingly merciful, this personality. So Srila Gurudev is telling that, yet even though Navadvip Dham is non-different from Vrindavan, there is some speciality. So they are non-different, but there is some speciality. Then Gurudev is quoting from Adi Leela 8.24. Krishna naam kare aparadhira vichar. Krishna balire aparadhira nahaya vikar. If someone will chant Krishna naam, but at the same time commit the 10 offenses, he will not experience melting of the heart and tear flowing from his eyes. However, Gaura Nityanya nahi hai sab vichar, naam laite prema dena vah sudhar. Gaura Nityanand Naam does not consider any offense. If someone chants their names, his heart will melt and tears will flow from his eyes. Thus, Gaura Naam is more merciful than Krishna Naam. So here Gurudev is telling, Gauradham also for the same reason is more merciful than Krishna Dham, Vrindavan. Lord Indra, who had committed a grave offense to Sri Krishna, came to Navadvip with Surabhi, and here Mahaprabhu completely forgave his offense. Indra had previously approached Sri Krishna in Vrindavan, but he had to come here to get full relief. One may say that he already knows the Navadvip Dham and there is no need to hear anything further about it. Please don't think like this. Its glories are very deep. To enter into the secrets of this Dham, we must discuss its various aspects. We also pray to Navadvip Dham that it will reveal its profound glories to us. So here Gurudev is telling that our goal is not Krishna. Love of Krishna and service of Krishna is our goal. If one has no love for Lord Shri Krishna's lotus feet, one cannot serve him. Kamsa and Jarasandha were both with Krishna, but they had no love and affection for him. Thus they were unable to relish the bliss of service, so our goal is Krishna Prem. Now that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so important because he is giving Krishna Prem. Krishna Prema Pradayate. He is freely distributing Krishna Prem. So simply, without Prem, our life is useless. Krishna is the embodiment of all rasas. He is Akhil Rasamrita Sindhu. Still, he had 3 desires that he could not fulfill. To fulfill them, he had to take the sentiments and complexion of Srimati Radhika and appear in Navadvip Dham. Who is Mahaprabhu? He is actually Sri Krishna, but very beautifully decorated with Radhika's sentiments and complexion. This is Sachinandan Gaurahari. This is why he is golden. He has taken her bhav and kanti complexion. There is a special consideration in understanding this very rare prem. It has 2 aspects, sambhog and meeting, vipralamba, separation. If you don't understand both the types of prem, you cannot understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Navadvip. Meeting and separation are further divided into millions of aspects, but 4 are prominent. There are 4 types of sambhog. Sankshipta sambhog, brief meeting. Sankirna sambhog, contracted meeting. Sampanna sambhog, successful meeting, also called Sampurna, complete meeting, and Samruddhiman Sambhog, fully flourishing meeting. These 4 types of meeting depend on 4 types of separation: Purvarag, Man, Kinchit, Dur Pravas, and Sudur Pravas. So basically, meeting and separation, that is what is going on. So Sankshipta Sambhog takes place only after Purvarag. Purvarag is separation that is felt prior to one's initial meeting. Before Radha Krishna's meeting takes place, the separation which Radha Krishna experienced is called Purvarag. And after Purvarag, there is Sankshipta Sambhog, contracted meeting. Understand? The second type of separation is called Man, separation due to a sulky or contrary mood. Now, what is this sulky mood, contrary mood? That this Radharani sometimes she feels sulky mood, and she will do Man. Then Krishna will pray to her. Smaragarala Khandanam Mama Shirasi Mandanam Dehi Padapallavam Udaram Julati Mai Daruno Madana Kadananalo, Haruta Tadipahita Vikaram. Krishna will tell that, oh, in your separation, the poison of your separation is burning my heart. It has entered my head. Please place your lotus feet on my head and remove this suffering of separation. Actually, there was a drama performance of devotees. I was seeing Gurudev's video. And Gurudev was telling in the video to the, I think, American devotees that, I think Europe or America, I don't know. The drama, they showed that Radharani, Krishna begged for Radharani that place your feet on my head. And then Radharani actually in the drama placed the feet on Krishna's head. Then Gurudev said, this is not what actually would happen. Krishna may say to Radharani that please give up your anger and place your lotus feet on my head. But Radharani will not do it. She cannot do it because she loves Krishna so much. And she may say that, okay, you can fix my ankle bells, they have become loose, this and that. I am dancing with Ras Leela, then ankle bells are very loose, please again tie them up nicely, these, that. Some seva she may tell. But she cannot place her feet on the head of Krishna. Never and never she can do that. If thorn has entered the feet of Radharani, she can tell Krishna, please remove this thorn. Sita may not say this to Ramchandra. Never and never. So that's why that man is a sulky mood. Ahereva gatir premna sabhava kutila bhavet ator hetor ahetosya yunam manam vidanjati. That the love is always crooked, and therefore some sulky mood appears in the heart of, contrariness appears in the heart of the hero and the heroine. The hero here is Krishna and Radharani is the heroine, Naika, Nayak and Naika. Meeting after man is called Sankirna Sambhog. Understand? So you can see that one type of separation, then another type of meeting will take place. Separation, meeting, like that is going on. So river of the Prema has two embankments. So this is separation, this is meeting, and the river of Prema is flowing. What is Gurudev is telling here? This meeting is somewhat contracted because after giving up her anger, the heroine is happy to meet with her lover, but she still remembers that he has met with someone else. So this is what Gurudev is telling, that Laksha Lakshman Lata Pattam Avita Kiyura Mudra Gale. So Krishna has met some other heroine. And when Krishna has met some other heroine, Chandravali or something, or then Radharani will remember that, oh, he met some other heroine. Understand? So then man may come. Understand? There is no such, Gurudev was telling that there is no such man in Sita's pastime, because Sita is just maid servant of Ramchandra. Although he married her, but her role is more like a maid servant. So she cannot do so much any man. Some man is felt in Satyabhama. Gurudev was telling that in some kalpa, Krishna leaves from Vrindavan to Mathura, and when Krishna goes from Vrindavan to Mathura, Radharani feels intense separation, and then Radharani, she goes to the Khelan and she jumps in the Jamuna. Now Gurudev says this is not in this kalpa, some other day of Brahma. And then Gurudev was telling that Radharani goes to the sun planet, and sun planet offers Radharani to Satrajit, the king Satrajit in Dwarka as a daughter. Then Radharani comes in Dwarka, and it happens that she meets Krishna. And then Rukmini becomes alert, because Rukmini feels that this girl is so beautiful, Satyabhama, who's actually Radharani, that what will happen? If Krishna sees her, maybe he will forget me. He'll be more attracted to her. So she arranges that Satyabhama never meets Krishna after that. She hides her. This Satyabhama, she cannot forget Krishna because she has seen Krishna once. So she thinks better to end his life. So she starts running towards the ocean, Satyabhama. So when Satyabhama starts running to the ocean, somehow the other, she feels as if some black snake has caught her on the way. So Gurudev was telling that as if one black snake catches her, so she cannot go ahead. And the Gurudev was telling that the snake was very cooling. The snake has very cooling body. So she thinks the snake has caught me, but why the snake is not letting me go to the ocean? He should let me go to the ocean. Or he should bite me and kill me. Either way, I want to die because I cannot live in separation of Krishna. Then she realizes this is not black snake, this is actually two black arms of Krishna. Because Krishna's arms are so black like a snake. Then that is a meeting of Satyabhama and Krishna. So Gurudev was telling the feeling of Raghunath Das Goswami, that Raghunath Das Goswami was asked that if Uddhav will come to you, Uddhav is the Priya Narmsaka of Krishna, and Uddhav will come to you and tell you that let's go to Dwarka. Will you go to Dwarka? He said no. If Satyabhama will come and Rukmani will come and tell you, come to Dwarka and we'll help you meet Krishna. Will Raghunath Das Goswami go? Raghunath Goswami said no. If Satyabhama come, Rukmani come or Uddhav come, I will not go to Dwarka in any case. I will not leave Vrindavan because Radharani is in Vrindavan. But because if Radharani goes to Dwarka, then what will you do? Actually, Radharani will never go to Dwarka. But still, sometimes, as you see in these pastimes in Lalit Madhav or Vidagdha Madhav, the drama written by Rupa Goswami, that in some case Radharani may go to Dwarka like this. Actually, original Radharani, like Vrishabhanu Nandini Radha or Kirtida Sundari Radha, daughter of Kirtida, or Vrishabhanu Nandini Radha never leaves Vrindavan. But who leaves Vrindavan? To go to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna or to go to Dwarka to meet Krishna, as is described in Lalit Madhav and other dramas. Then that is, Gurudev was telling that is Sanyogini Radha. There is another Prakash of Radha. Radha also three. There is Vrishabhanu Nandini Radha, she never leaves Vrindavan. She will always with Krishna in Vrindavan. The second is Viyogini Radha, the Radharani who was crying in separation of Krishna at Uddhav Kari, Vishaka Kunda, near Nandagaon, near Ter Kadamba and Nandagaon, where Uddhav saw her weeping. That is Viyogini Radha. It is the second aspect of Radharani, Prakash. And the third aspect is the Radharani who may meet Krishna at Dwarka or Kurukshetra. That is Sanyogini Radha. So Gurudev says that there are three different Radhas. So Raghunath Goswami is telling that yes, if Radharani goes to Dwarka because of some unmad, madness induced, because the separation can also induce some madness like condition, unmad, maddened condition. In that madness, if Radharani goes to Dwarka, then I will also fly faster than Garuda to go and be with Radharani. My attraction for Vrindavan is only for Radharani. Understand? So here, Radharani has some man. And next is Sampanna Sambhog. This takes place after Kinchit Dur Pravas, separation of a short distance. An example of Sampurna Sambhog is Krishna meeting with the gopis after returning from cow grazing, or Krishna appearing before the gopis after they sang Gopi Gita. So, Krishna returns in the evening after grazing. Like gopis are telling that Atatiyad Bhavan Nanni Kananam Truti Jugayate Tvama Pasyatam Kutila Kuntalam Shri Mukham Chate Jadau Dikshatam Pakshma Krudrisham. The gopis are telling that, oh, you wander in the forest, then one moment of separation, appears like millions and millions of yugas for us. One moment of separation. Atatiyat Bhavan Andhi Gananam. Oh Sham Sundar, when you go to the forest to herd the cows during the day, the Vrajavasis are unable to see you and they feel one moment to be like a yuga. And in the evening, when you return, we see your beautiful lotus face covered with curling locks. The blinking of our eyelids become painful because it obstructs our darshan. Is the creator who made these eyelids ignorant or is he foolish? So in Bhagavatam 10 canto, Krishna's face very beautiful. For the gopis, even one moment seems like 100 yugas, 100 millenniums. They do not have darshan of that beautifully adorned face, beautiful face adorned with curling locks. So, gopis, even a fraction of a second seems like a yuga for the gopis when they are afflicted by separation from Sri Krishna. And when they meet him, one yuga seems like a moment. This condition is called Mahabhav. Understand? This is the Mahabhav. So, like Mahaprabhu, also in the mood of Radharani is telling, Yugaitam nimeshena shakshusha pavrishaitam shunyaitam jagas sarvam govinda virehinami. Oh Krishna, even one moment feels like millenniums in your separation. This is the Mahabhav stage. So here, when Krishna goes to graze in the forest, and when he comes back, the gopis want to look at him, but his curly locks of hair cover his face and they cannot see him. And top of that, there is eyelids which keep on blinking. So blinking of eyelids also becomes painful because gopis are telling that Sarvanganam Sheyanvama Ekada Nanda Suno Drashtum Mancha Priyapi Sadhya Purana. That at least we have just two eyes. And two eyes also there is eyelids, and they keep the eyes sometimes blinking, so we cannot see Krishna's face continuously. Like fish can see Krishna continuously because fish has no eyelids, never closes the eyes. Understand? So like that. This is very high level. Or Krishna came back from Ras Leela. When Krishna disappeared from Ras Leela and then Krishna appeared in the Ras Leela. Tasam Avirbhush Shauri Smayamana Mukam Bhuja Pitambaradras Tragvi Sakshan Manmatha Manmatha. Krishna disappeared from Ras Leela. Then when he came from Ras Leela, he was holding his cloth in his mouth, Pitambar. He was chewing his Pitambar around his neck and chewing it, holding it between his teeth and begging for forgiveness from gopis. I gave you so much hard time, I disappeared from Ras Leela. Forgive me, forgive me. Understand? So when Krishna appears, then gopis meeting takes place. So after gopis sang the song of separation and Krishna appeared and the meeting took place, that is actually Sampanna Sambhog. That is complete meeting. Understand? Last is Samruddhiman Sambhog. This takes place after Sudur Pravas, a very long and distant separation when Krishna goes to Mathura and then to Dwarka. The meeting of Sri Radha and Lord Krishna at Kurukshetra is Samruddhiman Sambhog. As well as Krishna's meeting with the gopis when he finally returns from Dwarka to Brajamandal. So Sudur Pravas, from a neutral point of view, this separation dances over the head of Sambhog. Understand? In Sambhog, outwardly there is a meeting, but inwardly something is lost. But at a time of separation, on the other hand, though outwardly there is no meeting, inwardly the meeting is complete and perfect. And many realizations occurs which do not occur at a time of meeting. This is the speciality of Vipralambha from a neutral point of view. So here Gurudev is telling that in neutral point of view. Someone may say that separation is so great. Understand? But this is neutral point of view. Actually, we don't want to see Radharani separated from Krishna. And we don't want to see Krishna and Radharani separation at all. Shri Krishna virahe radhikara dasha. Ami to sahate nari. Jugala milana sukhera karana. Jivana chadite pari. Understand? So, this viraha, although very exalted, but we don't want to see Radha Krishna separated. Understand? Because they feel it is too painful for us. But from neutral point of view, like there were some devotees who were telling that, oh, separation is superior than meeting. Gurudev said that is a neutral point of view. But actually, Madhanakya Mahabhava occurs in meeting. Gurudev was telling. So he said always meeting is great, superior than separation. Why? Because no devotee will want to see Radha Krishna separate and Radharani crying in separation of Krishna or Krishna crying in separation of Radharani. Obviously, separation is part of spiritual pastimes. Like Lord Ramchandra, he had to abandon Sita. Sita went to the forest and Valmiki was there and Valmiki was consoling her. the many wives of the great sages were consoling Sita, but who was there for Ramchandra? Gurudev is telling. Who's there for Ramchandra to console him? No one could understand the heart of Ramchandra. He's all alone. Sita has 2 children, Lava and Kush, to console her. She can find some satisfaction with them, but who's there for Ram? He's weeping alone and alone and alone. No one can understand the plight of Ramchandra. Also Krishna's plight, who can understand? Krishna alone weeping in Mathura. He coming to the rooftop and looking towards Braj from the rooftop, from his balcony of his palace, and loudly weeping. And then he said, maybe someone should understand what I feel for Brajavasis, how great they are. Maybe I will send one student to study in the University of the Gopis. And it was Uddhava he was selected for him. Uddhava was so great. Uddhava Buddhi Sattama, most intelligent. It's like a Priya Namsaka of Krishna. This job of sending message to his beloved consorts, his gopis, is actually job of a Priya Namsaka. Uddhava acted almost like a Priya Namsaka. But still he could not even get admission in the school of gopis, Gurudev said. Understand? He could not even pass the entrance exam for the University of Love of the Gopis. Like in Gita Nagari in 1998 in Pennsylvania, Gita Nagari, Srila Gurudev went in 1998, and there was a devotee who was initiated. His name was, he asked Gurudev, what is your name? He said, my father has given me name Uddhav Gita. Then Gurudev said, he is fine. Uddhav is also great devotee. But he said, I am going to give the name Ujjvala Sakha. Ujjwal, Vasant, Kokil, and especially this, Subal, these are all Priyanam Sakhas of Krishna. They help in arranging meeting with the gopis of Krishna. So Gurudev said, Ujjwal Sakha is so great. Changed his name from Uddhav Gita to Ujjwala Sakha, because he's a Priyanam Sakha. So here, Krishna is experiencing separation from the gopis, and gopis are also experiencing separation from Krishna. But gopis are at least consoling each other. But who's there to console Krishna? No one can understand the heart of Krishna in Mathura and Dwarka. He's alone by himself. So actually, Gurudev was making this point that when Radharani came to Dwarka and as Satyabhama, and then Krishna came and embraced her, then Gurudev was telling that this is not Dwarkadish Krishna. It was not Dwarkadish Krishna who embraced her. It was Brajananda and Shyamsundar Krishna only came. She had a spurti and Krishna came in her spurti and embraced her. It was Brajananda and Krishna who was embracing her. Understand? So here Gurudev is telling that if one wants to do bhajan in Vipralamba, one must cry out like Mahaprabhu, who used to lament, alas, alas, where is the Lord of my life, Shri Krishna? Kothai Krishna, Kothai Krishna. So this is very nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Pas. Sinchan Sinchan Nayana Paisam Pandu Gandasthalantam Munchan Munchan Pratimahuraho Dirga Nishwas Jatam Uchche Krandan Karana Karano Dirga Haheti Nado Gauraha Kopi Vrajavihirani Bhavo Magnas Chakasti. That he was crying so much in separation of Krishna that he was ha Krishna, crying like this, weeping piteously, pitifully. He was in the mood of Radharani. He was completely in the mood of Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the mood of Vyogini Radha, Vyogini. And he experienced that mood. So we should also try to be like Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, crying, wow, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? If there is no Vipralamba, one cannot relish meeting. In Vipralamba, in the stage of Mohanakya Mahabhav, there are many different astonishing anubhavas, internal feelings. Divyonmad, transcendental insanity, Prajalpa, Jalpa, 8 other types of transcendental maddened raving speech. So here, Mohan Bhav. Mohan means separation. Mohanakya Mahabhav also, Madanakya Mahabhav, that takes place in meeting, but Mohanakya Mahabhav is in separation. This is Vipralamba. And there are some internal feelings are there. Divyonmad, transcendental insanity is there. Divyonmad. Prajalpa, there are different examples of prajalpa. Like Radharani talking to the bumblebee. Madhupakita babandho, mas pushangri sapatnya, kuchavilita mala, kunkumas mashrubirna, vahati madhupatistan maninam prasadam, yadusadasi vidambam, yastuditasta midruk. She's talking to the bumblebee, Radharani, thinking that bumblebee is a messenger of Krishna. This is all prajalpa, avijalpa, ujjalpa, sanjalpa. These are all Radharani's Brahmar Git. That is all in the mood of vipralamba, separation. However, despite the internal joy that comes in Vipralamba, none of Srimati Radhika's associates want separation. They always want Radha and Krishna to meet. To think that they ought to be separated is actually foolishness. Understand? This is foolishness that, they should cry in separation of each other. No, we don't want. We don't want them to be separated. Actually, Gurudev was telling that, Gurudev's book actually, I was reading that, Vina Radham Krishno Vyateti Samantat Mamano Jani Same Mahabhut Kshanapi Atra Kshanadu Yugo Nakshno Liham Yugapadano or Bhaktra Shishino. Vina Radham Krishno Vyateti Samantat Mamana Vinam Radha Krishnopi Ahavam Viklaveti Jani Same Mahabhut Kshanapi Atra Kshanadu Yugo Nakshno Liham Yugapadano or Bhaktra Shishino. That I never want to see these two moons separated from each other. The beautiful moon-like face of Radharani and beautiful moon-like face of Krishna should always, I should see them together. I don't want to see their separation, never and never. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that no associates want separation. But from a neutral point of view, it is clear that Vipralamba has many wonderful aspects. So like there are some verses coming in Padyavali also that Sangama Viraha Vikalpe Virahamiya Virahena Sangamastasya Ekaivasa Sangame Tribhonapi Tanmayam Tad Virahe. That, in meeting I see one Krishna, but in separation I see millions of Krishna. Every creeper, every atom, everywhere I see Krishna. Understand? This is actually separation mood. Means the devotee who is separated, Gopi who is separated, Radharani will see Krishna everywhere. So much separation mood is described in Ujjwal Neelamani. Like Lalita's separation mood and Radharani's separation mood. But although it is so great, but devotees don't want to see they are separated because it's so painful actually. So there is an astonishing pastime that takes place in meeting. Srimati Radhika is sitting on Shri Krishna's lap at Prem Sarovar. That I told in the afternoon. A bumblebee from Madhusudan was flying around Radhika's face and Madhumangal chased it away with a stick. He announced Madhusudan is gone and he will never return. Because Madhusudan is also a name of Krishna, Radhika took this to mean that Krishna had gone and would never return. Therefore, even while on Krishna's lap, she became overwhelmed in separation and fell unconscious. These are the symptoms of Madanakya Mahabhav. This Madan mood comes only in Radhika. It is not found even in Lalita and Vishaka. Now, this is very important, that even Vishaka and Lalita don't have Madanakya Mahabhav. Only Radharani has. And Lord Krishna himself has Mahabhav. But it is not complete. He cannot understand Radhika's Madanakya Mahabhav. So, this is the exact reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. That Krishna also experiences Mahabhav. Lalita Vishaka also experiences Mahabhav. But Gurudev is telling that no one experiences Madanakya Mahabhav. Only Radhika. And he wants to test that. And that's why he came in the form of Sachinanand Gaurari. And this is the main reason why he came. One of the most important reasons he came. Okay, Nagar Sankirtan, Mahamantra Prachar, delivering the devotees, removing the sins of the people. That's fine. That is Mahavishnu. Narayan inside of the body of Mahaprabhu is doing that. But really Mahaprabhu is coming only to understand the moods of Radharani, to relish the Madanakya Mahabhav. There is another consideration of here. God is love and love is God. Shri Krishna's nature is wonderful. He is Akhila Samrati Sindhu and he is the ocean of the full nectar of all rasas. But he does not have Madanakya Mahabhav. He wants to test this. So God is love, love is God. Understand? So God wants to test the topmost love, Madanakya Mahabhav. He wants to test this to make his nature complete. He therefore appears with that desire here in Navadvip Dham. So he actually wanted to relish this mood. There is still another thing to understand. Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the embodiment of all rasa. He embodies the ingredients of rasa, Sthai Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvic Bhav and Vyabhichari Bhav. So Sthayi Bhav is actually 5 types of ecstasies. Middle of neutrality, middle of servitorship, middle of parental affection, conjugal love and others. Vibhav, Anubhav. Vibhav, the stimulation of one's permanent sentiments, is divided into 2 parts, Vishaya Alamban and Ashraya Alamban. Krishna is Vishaya Alamban, the object of love. So Krishna is the object of love and Radhika is the Ashraya Alamban, the abode of love for Krishna. So Radharani is a receptacle of love, abode of love for Krishna. She is Ashraya Alamban. Alamban also 2 types. Vibhav is divided into the stimulation of one's permanent sentiments is Vishaya Alamban and Ashraya Alamban. So Krishna is Vishaya Alamban, he is the object of love. And Radhika is Ashraya Alamban, the abode of love for Krishna. Of all the Ashrayas, she is the best. The way she loves Krishna, the way she serves Krishna, the way she relishes his qualities and form, nobody else can do. So, Ka Krishnasya Pranay Janibhu, Srimati Radhikaika, Kasya Preyasyam Anupamagana, Srimati Radhikaika Nachanya, Jayam Deshe, Dushitarlata, Nishtutvam Kuchesya, Mancha Purte, Prabhavati Hare, Radhikaika Nachanya. This is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, I think, is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse, that who can completely control Krishna, who loves the Krishna most? Radharani loves Krishna most. So Gurudev is telling here that she relishes his qualities and form. Nobody else can do it. If Krishna himself cannot experience what Radhika tested, to test this, Krishna appeared as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Understand? This prem is tested in Shri Krishna's youth. Once when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling, he met a devotee named Raghupati Upadhyaya who spoke a verse. So when Mahaprabhu was traveling, I think he met one great Pandit called Raghupati Upadhyaya. Now this Raghupati Upadhyaya, I think he was a Maithila Brahman from Mithila, Sita's birthplace, And he quoted a verse actually, Shamaeva param rupam puri madhupuri bara vayam kaishorakam dheyam adeva parorasa. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 19.106. Mahaprabhu asked him which form of Krishna is the best. Raghupati Upadhyaya replied, Shri Krishna's form as Sham Sundar is the best form. The best town is Mathura, Vrindavan. And the best mellow is Madhura Rasa. I was listening to Gurudev's lecture. So Gurudev was telling that, Gopis asked Krishna, Tu bhed bata kanha, tera rang kala kyun? Tu kala ho karke jag se nirala kyun? Gopis are asking Krishna, why you are black? Your mother is fair, father is fair, how you turned black? Tell us. So Yashoda is also some tinge of black, dark color, bluish complexion. That's why Krishna is blackish. But Krishna told that I took birth in the midnight, 12 o'clock. So darkness, I took birth in darkness. That's why I'm black. Actually, the Gopis call him the son of darkness. Asti kopis timiras tanandhaya kinchit anchita padam sagayati yan managapi nishamya kavadhu navadhu taradhayopachayati. That he is the son of blackness. Lita told Radharani, he is the son of blackness, darkness. Understand? So Krishna is telling that I took birth in the night, so I am dark. Or Krishna is telling, मैंने काली गाय को दूध पियो और काली नाग पे नृत्य कियो मेरे कमर का रंग काला इसलिए काला हूँ तू भेद बता कान्हा तेरा रंग काला क्यों. So Krishna is telling that I danced on the hooves of a black snake, Kaliya. Understand? I drank the milk of a black cow and I have a black blanket on my shoulders, I am black. Then Gopi said, no. What is the real reason? Tell us. Then Krishna is telling the final reason. Sakhi nainon mein kajra lagati hai aur nainon mein mujhe basati hai. Says the Gopis, they apply the mascara in their eyes, black, what is it call it? Collyrium in the eyes. How they make collyrium? Now we buy my chemical mascara. But previously my mother used to make mascara, black collyrium. She used to take one bell metal small pot, very small, like And then she used to burn pure ghee lamp, and the lamp black of that pure ghee lamp, she used to collect at the bottom of a vessel. Like she used to take something like this glass, smaller than this glass, and then at the bottom here, when she used to burn the pure ghee lamp, then the lamp black she used to collect at the bottom of this. She used to keep some cooling water here in the glass, and then she used to hold it over the flame. Then the black lamp black from the pure ghee lamp, the wick is of pure cotton, and then he used to collect. And the lamp is also made of clay lamp. Then she was used to put in the eyes of my sisters and others. Good for the eyes, cooling for the eyes. So, anyways, Krishna is telling the gopis apply the kajal, that is called kajal in Sanskrit, kajal or kajal. Kajal or kajal, understand? So, the gopis put the black collyrium in their eyes and they behold me by their eyes, so I am black. Krishna is telling like that. Anyways, so Krishna is black, so that is Shama Sundar. Sham is black. Although is black, is very beautiful. So Krishna's form as Sham Sundar is the best form, and the best town is Mathura. This Mathura actually is the in Vrindavan. Mathura means actually Vrindavan. Why Mathura is glorious? Because it is Moksha Dahini Puri. Mukunda Maralirava Shavana Fulla Rudvallavi Kadambaka Karambita Prati Kadamba Kanjantara Kalindagiri Nandini Kamala Kandalandolina Sugandir Arineme Sharanamastu Brindatavi. And that's what actually Padyavali also other sentiment is explained. That great Kavi Haridas has expressed. Alam Trideva Vartaya Kimiti Sarvabhauma Shriya Vidratara Vartini Bhotu Moksha Lakshmi Rapi Kalindagiri Nandini Tada Nikunja Punjodare Manoharati Kevalam Navatamala Nilam Maha. I have no use for talk about attaining the heavenly planets. What to speak of acquiring sovereignty over the entire earth? Even the names of Moksha, liberation, and Lakshmi, attainment of the opulent realm of Vaikuntha, afford me no pleasure. My mind is captivated only by that cluster of bluish brilliance, whose color resembles a young tamal tree and who graces the groves situated on the bank of Jamuna. So my mind is captured only by the cluster of bluish brilliance, that is Krishna. Understand? We only want to see Krishna, nothing else. So there's another Ishwar Puri also told, this Guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dhanyanamruti bhasatam girivara pratyagra kunjau kasam satyananda rasam vikara vivavam vavrittam antarmaha asmakam kila vallaviratiraso vrindatavi lalaso gopaha kopi mahendra nirachiro chitya mok kridatu. Those fortunate pure souls, the non-dualistic Brahmagyanis dwelling in the secluded forest of the Himalayas, may experience indescribable transcendental bliss within their heart as a festival of perfect mental equilibrium and freedom from all anxiety. Let them do so. I have no use for that. Indeed, always sporting within my heart is an eternally youthful cowherd boy whose complexion is more enticing than a blue sapphire. Understand? Who is the embodiment of rasa imbued with love for gopis and who exhibits playful sporting pastimes in Vrindavan. So Krishna's pastimes take place in Vrindavan. So that is what actually all the great devotees, they only want to stay in Vrindavan and see Krishna there. Madhendra Puripad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grand spiritual master, and Ishwar Puri was Gurudev, also telling, Rasam prashamsantu kavitvanishtha brahmamritam veda shiro nivishtha vayam tu gunja kalita bhatam sam gruhita moksham kamapi shrayama. Let the poets extol the sweet taste of poetry. Let the Vedic scholars extensively eulogize the nectar of Brahman realization. I myself will take shelter of a youthful cowherd boy who is decorated with a garland of gunja berries. Gunja berries. You might have seen gunja berries, red colored berries. Krishna wears the garland of them. One beautiful song was there. I used to hear that. Actually, I was living in New York Temple, White Skimmeron Street in Brooklyn. And my duty was to wash the pots. So while washing the pots, sometimes it's very boring, because you are alone washing pots or some other devotee helping you. So while doing the seva, I used to always hear Hari Katha or some songs. So I got a tape from Keshavji Gaudiya Math. Somehow it had landed in ISKCON there, and I was listening. Oh, beautiful songs were there. I might have heard that tape hundreds of times. I never got actually that another copy of that tape or album, MP3 record. But oh, beautiful. Then in that one Mataji was singing. गैया चरावे नंदलाला पहने गुंजन की माला गुंजन की माला पहने गुंजन की माला जित पे अड़ा माला पहने गुंजन की माला. This is Gunja. Actually, what I was telling on that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Giriraj Shila to Raghunath Das Goswami, and he gave one Gunja Mala. So Gunja Mala is the representative of Radharani. That's why Krishna keeps Gunja berries garland around his neck all the time. That is Radharani, not different from Radharani. And he is wearing ornaments, and he holds a flute to his blossoming lips. No other sight is as beautiful as seeing Krishna like this. So that's why Shri Kaviratna in Padyavali, verse 78, Shri Gurudev is quoting him, Jatu prarthetena parthiv padam nendre pade modate sandhatte jana yoga siddhusha dhyam moksham jana kankshati kalindi vanat simani sthirtadin meghadhyutyo kevalam shuddhe brahmani ballavi bhujalata baddhe mano dhavati. My mind never hankers to become emperor, nor can it derive any pleasure from the post of Indra. It is unable to enlist the intelligence in seeking the mystic perfections, nor aspire for liberation. Don't want this yoga and moksha and all that. My mind runs only in pursuit of that indescribable pure Brahma who is embraced by the creeper-like arms of the gopis, and who thus resembles a lustrous fresh rain cloud interlaced with steady streaks of lightning in the Vrindavan forest on the banks of the Yamuna. But that's all. That's all. We want to see Krishna embraced by Radharani. That's all we want. So Shri Madhavendra Puri expresses a similar glorious sentiment in Padyavali 96. Anangarasa chaturi chapala charu netran chalas chalan makara kondalas spurita kanti ganda sthala vrajollasita nagari nikara lasala sukha same spuratu same sabadi manase spurta kopi gopalata. Alas, may that extraordinary covered boy soon appear within the temple of my heart, who's cunning in the art of amorous affairs. Anangarasa chaturi. So he is very cunning in the art of amorous affairs, who casts sidelong glances from the corners of his charming restless eyes, whose cheeks reflect the glittering radiance of his trembling makara-shaped earrings. Makara means sharp-shaped earrings. They are reflected in his cheeks. His cheeks are so effulgent, so they reflect. Who is extremely anxious to enjoy the rasa dance with the blissful gopis. So Krishna has also only one aspiration, that is to dance with the gopis. He wants to dance with the gopis. Understand? He wants to release the rasa dance with the gopis. So here actually is told that only by the worship of Radha Krishna Yugal in Vraj is this jewel of Rati's ecstatic love for them awakened within one's heart. Upon receiving further nourishment, it is promoted to the stage of Mahabhav. So here there are two types of instructions regarding the performance of bhajan. One is prescription, vidhi, and other is prohibition, nishedh. Both are necessary. Always remember Krishna and never forget him. This is the primary injunction of all the Vedas. And all other injunctions are subordinate to this. Always remember Krishna is vidhi and never forget Krishna is nishedh. Also accept whatever is favorable for bhakti and reject whatever is unfavorable. Actually, we do not have the qualification to know what is really favorable and what is not. But we can find out from elevated devotees, excuse me, and the scriptures. Mundane talk is nishedh. We have been warned not to engage in worldly talks. Gramya katha na shunebe, gramya varta na koi bhi. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Raghunatha Goswami to avoid Gramya Katha, which literally means village talk. Gramya means dharma, mundane religiosity, earth, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation. The spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, being merciful, bestow upon us this power of discernment. So here Mahaprabhu instructed Raghunatha Goswami, Don't speak prajalpa. Don't talk about anything about then bhakti. Understand? So here Mahaprabhu is talking to Raghunath Das, Raghupati Upadhyay. And Raghupati Upadhyay told that the best mellow is Madhura Ras and the best age is fresh youth. Among all his pastimes in youth are topmost, and among all rasas, Shringar Ras is the highest. We should meditate upon this. There in Vrindavan, he always, Natavar, the best dancer. He always holds a flute in his hand and he wears the dress of a cowherd boy. The root of Gokul is this form of Krishna as the youthful best of dancers. There is a speciality here. Krishna took birth in Gokul Mahavan, where he performed his pastimes as a child. Then he moved to Nandagaon, where his boyhood pastimes took place. In Vrindavan, Radhakund, Shyamkund, and Govardhan, Krishna's youth splendidly manifested. As a young teenager, he performed his pastimes with the gopis in Vrindavan. In this age, he experienced the highest expression of prem. The form of a teenage youth is Krishna's eternal form, but do not think he is just an ordinary boy. So here Gurudev again telling, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajashatanayastha Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahanshi Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matabidam Tatra Dharona Paraha. The most worshipable object is Vrajanandan Shyam Sundar. Vrindavan is Baladev Tattva and equally worshipable. So this is what Gurudev is telling. Baladev Tattva. Like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he would respect even the small dogs in the Navadvip Dham. His eyes were not good, almost blind, so he used to count how many babies have come, how many puppies have come. He will count them. And if not all the puppies are eating from his plate first, then he would chastise Bihariji, servant. Hey, go and bring all the puppies. They may be hungry. If they get lost, they will miss the food. So give them prasadam first, then I will eat. So first he used to feed the puppies of the dham from his own plate. So generally dog is abominable. Generally speaking, Shastra says that if you have dog at home, you will never go to Swarga. Understand? Dog should always be outside the house, not inside the house. Never and never. But here you see Jagannath Das Maharaj first feeding the puppies in the dham, because they are not ordinary dogs. They are actually dham vasis. Dham vasi. So that's why you should always respect the dham and residents of dham, because they are Baladev Prabhu. Dham is Baladev Prabhu. There is no question of worshipping Krishna without worshipping his dham or abode. So how can you conceive of Mahaprabhu without Navadvip Dham? How can you conceive of Vrindavan without Krishna without Vrindavan? The mode of worship of him in Vrindavan is completely unique. The most excellent method of worship is that which has been adopted by the gopis, the young wives of Vraja. Now, for example, Yashoda is serving Krishna. Sakha is also serving Krishna, but Yashoda will only serve in the daytime. Night time she cannot serve. Night time she will go to sleep and remember Krishna's childhood pastimes. But gopis, all day, all night, they are serving Krishna. So the love of the gopis on conjugal melo, that is the highest love. And this is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have come to Navadvip Dham to realize this mood. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Navadvip Dham decorated with the mood and complexion of Radhika. He spent his first 24 years here in Navadvip. His childhood, boyhood and adolescent pastimes all took place here. Then he took sannyas. He became Krishna Chaitanya and went to Puri. He spent 6 years going and coming from Jagannath Puri. He went to South India, Vrindavan and Kashi, Prayag, other places. For the next 6 years, he performed Sankirtan with the devotees in Puri and participated in Rath Yatra. He passed his last 12 years simply testing the rasa of Radhika in the Gambhira with one pointed observation. What rasa was that? Separation, the sentiment of the gopis when Sri Krishna resided in Mathura and Dwarka. Throughout the night, Mahaprabhu would test the mellows of Radha's separation, along with Sri Sarup Damodar and Sri Raya Raman. His servant Govinda would try to stop them from coming. He would tell them, it would be better if you don't come so often. You only make him more upset. He would think of himself. He would think to himself, why do they have to come every day? They always make Mahaprabhu cry. It is very difficult to understand that Mahaprabhu was actually relishing the topmost bliss through these pastimes. Understand? So Govinda is actually cannot understand the elevated mood of Raya Ramananda and Sarup Damodar. Mahaprabhu, but used to relish the meeting of Raya Ramananda and Sarup Damodar because they used to teach him the separation mood, what Radharani experienced. Because they have seen Radharani's separation. They know what is Radharani's separation for Krishna. So they used to assist Mahaprabhu understand the mood of Radharani. So all this has been described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita is superior to all Vedas, Vedanta and Upanishads and Puranas. If you study Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will understand these pastimes and truths. If all the books in the world are destroyed, only Chaitanya Charitamrita is spared. Nothing would be lost. Everything is present there. So this is what Gurudev is telling. All the books, God forbid, but if New York Public Library, Boston Public Library, MIT, Cambridge, Harvard, Oxford, Carnegie Mellon, all the universities' libraries are burned to ashes due to short circuit or something. But if one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita exists in the world, then still nothing is lost. Means all the books are not combined together, are not equal to even one atom of Chaitanya Charitamrita, one verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's why Srila Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj, when he was in Jaladut, he was relishing this Chaitanya Charitamrita so much. So Navadvip Dham is not different from Vrindavan, and it is supermost because it is the Madhurya Dham. It is a transcendental abode of the Lord's sweet human-like pastimes. Here there is no Aishwarya mood of opulence. Mahaprabhu is just Shati Mata's darling little boy. When Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi, everyone called him Mahaprabhu, meaning great master. Whereas in Navadvip, he is known as Shachinandan Gaurari, that's all. Nimai and Vishnu Priya Pranadhana. Jai Sachinandana Jai Gaurari, Vishnu Priya Pranadhana Nadiya Vihari. Yeah, Vishnu Priya's dear beloved. As a boy, he would go house to house and make so much mischief. He would go to the bathing ghats and tease the young girls who were offering worship to the Ganga, snatching their paraphernalia and ingredients for worship. He would tell them, oh, worship me, first worship me, and then worship the Ganga. If you don't worship me, if you don't give me more sweets, then I'll curse you to have a very old husband and many co-wives. Ganga and Durga are my maidservants. When he would speak like this, the girls would cover their ears and run away. Oh, they would think this is blasphemy. But he was speaking the truth. He would go to Kolavecha Sridhar, and though he is the supreme Lord and everything in the universe belongs to him, he would call him Sridhar for the price of banana flowers. I don't know whether you have eaten the banana flower sabji. Banana flower is reddish in color, khol, and they call it kala. Like this Bengali, they use the term for flower, banana flower. I have eaten that sabji, definitely. Because so many years I'm in Gaudiya Math, most of the times my cooks in our ashram used to be either Odia or Bengali, mainly Bengali. So the Bengali style of prasadam, we always relish. Gaudiya Math means there's prominence of Bengalis and Odia devotees. Because this philosophy was mainly prominent in Bengal and Odisha. Other parts of India also, this philosophy not so prominent. Srila Gurudev may be the first person from North India to have understood and realized the deep secrets of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Srila Param Gurudev used to respect Gurudev for that. He used to say that, yes, you are I think, the first person in Bihar and North India to really to understand these secrets. But anyway, Gurudev was Nitya Siddha Parikara of Radha Krishna. Excuse me. In this way, Madhurya Leela, human-like pastimes, took place in Navadvip Dham. After his father disappeared from this world, Mahaprabhu went to Gaya to offer Pinda. There he met Srila Ishwar Puripad and told him, I offer his body to your lotus feet. Prabhu bale Gaya Yatra Safala Mara Jat khane dekhila ma charan tomar Sansara samudra ite uddharo more Yami deo samarpilama tomare. He returned to Navadvip after receiving Diksha. Now he began to relish Krishna Prem in the mood of the gopis and especially in the mood of Radhika, but not fully. He then took sannyas and left for Puri. Then there he tested more deeply the moods of the gopis, especially the mood of separation when Krishna went to Mathura. Then he went to Godavari, where he showed Sri Raya Ramananda his unprecedented Rasaraj Mahava form. Krishna holding his flute his red eyes rolling in ecstasy, and his form completely covered by the effulgence of Radhika's form. Each and every limb of Radhika was covered by each limb of Krishna, and the body of Krishna was covered with the golden complexion of Srimati Radhika. And still, even though he was covered by that golden complexion, some black luster from his body was showing through. Krishna is Rasaraj and Radhika is Mahabhav. Here, Rasaraj and Mahabhav are combined. Ramananda had never seen this form before. And as soon as he saw it, he fell unconscious. This pastime is extremely high, but can we say that Godavari is superior to Navadvip? Many people who don't know Tattva may say that Godavari is the topmost place between Chaitanya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Rasaraj Mahabhav form has shown there. We cannot say that Godavari is superior. However, because there is much opulence exhibited in this pastime there. Then there is Jagannath Puri, where Mahaprabhu was absorbed in Radha Bhav with Swarup Damodar, Raya Ramananda singing verses of Chandidas, Vidyapati, Geeta Govinda, and Raya Ramananda's Jagannath Vallabh Natak. Chandidas Vidyapati, Raya Nataka Giti Karnamrita Shri Geeta Govinda, Swarup Ramananda Sane Mahaprabhu Ratine Gaya Sune Param Ananda. They would also read the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam found in Venugeet, Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet, Pranay Geet, Bhramar Geet. Mahaprabhu would be absorbed in bhav throughout the night, and he would relish these and other songs like Jai Nanda Nandana Gopi Jana Vallabha Radhanayak Nagar Sham So Sachinandana Nadiya Purandara. So this is a beautiful song. So Sachinandana Nadiya Purandara Sura Munigana Manamohana Jam Jai Nija Kanta Kanti Kalevara Jai Jaya Preyasi Bhava Vinoda Jai Braja Sachari Lochana Mangala Jai Vajavasi Nayana Moda. So then Navadvip, what pastimes took place here? They cannot even be described. There is still another point about Navadvip Dham to consider. Srimati Radhika is the highest shelter of Prema, but she herself has three aspects. One aspect is the root, the other two are her expansion. In Vrindavan, especially in Govardhan, Nandagaon, Barsana, Radhakund, Shamkund are similar places. She is Vrishabharu Nandini Radha. She is the root and she includes her expansions as well. She never leaves Vrindavan. In Nandagaon, Uddhav Kyari, she is Vyogini. Radha, after Krishna went to Mathura, the astonishing madness of separation she experienced as Vyogini Radha is recorded in the Bhramar Gita. As Sayogini Radha, she spent 3 months in Kurukshetra, where she met with Sri Krishna. 3 months Radharani was with Krishna. Although this is the aspect of Radhika who meets with Krishna at Kurukshetra, her desire cannot be fulfilled there. She wants to go back to Vrindavan. It is the same Krishna there in Kurukshetra, but in a different dress. There is no flute in his hand and no peacock feather crown. Understand? And he is Yashodanandan, Nandanandan, Radhakanta. He is not addressed by those names anymore. The mood here is very different because there are so many elephants, horses, and a huge army, and Vasudeva and Devaki and all these associates are present. There is no forest like Vrindavan, there is no Yamuna, no peacocks, and no deer. Srimati Radhika tells Sri Krishna, my heart is not satisfied. There is not even one drop of the ocean of rasa of Vrindavan here in Kurukshetra. I don't want to be here. Krishna told her, you should meditate and you will realize that you are always with me. If you will meditate, my lotus feet will appear in your heart. She replied, So, Krishna very tricky. He's telling the gopis, you should meditate on me. My lotus feet will appear in your heart if you. Radharani replied, Anyara hridaya mana mora mana vrindavana mane vane kakori jani taha tumara padadvaya karo jadi udaya tabe tumara purna kripa mani. Understand? Purna kripa mani. So here the gopis are telling that, oh, our heart and mind are the same. Our mind is Vrindavan. So you should come to Vrindavan. This is the meaning of Rath Yatra. The Ratha cart is the chariot of Radhika's mind, the chariot of Radhika's desire. taking Lord Krishna back to Vrindavan, back to Braj, represented by the Gundicha temple. Sayogini means that there is Sayog, a meeting between Radha and Krishna, but Radhika wants to go back to Vrindavan. She wants to return to the forest of Vetasi trees, that is the forest of Kadamba trees. The forest which is fragrant with Beli, Chameli, G flowers, she wants to take Krishna there. Therefore, first Radhika is Vrishabhanandini Radhika, second is Yogini Radhika, who is always in separation mood and absorbed in Chitrajalpa, Prajalpa, Divyanmana and other bhavas. And in Kurukshetra, she is Sanyogini Radhika. She is meeting with Krishna, but there is no happiness because of all the sweet stimuli of Vrindavan are missing in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is filled with many outside elements that are contrary to Brajaprem. Therefore, Radhika situated Krishna on the chariot of her mind and along with all the other gopis brings Sri Krishna back to Vrindavan. This is the meaning of Rath Yatra and these are the moods of Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. In Navadvip Dham, Mahaprabhu is similarly of three types. He came in the mood of Radhika, always thinking of he is Radhika, he forgot that he is Krishna. He then went to Puri and manifested his Radha's separation moods there. Sometimes he would be locked inside the Gambhira and chanting Harinam, hearing the sound of Krishna's flute. He would then somehow go through the 7 locked gates. He would run to the ocean as if he were a fish. He would float in the waves for the entire night, and sometimes the ocean would carry him far away. His body would become 7 arms long. These are uncommon pastimes, not seen in the human form of life. In Puri, only 3.5 persons could witness his form and moods, and they were Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda, Shikimati, and Shikimati's sister Madhuri Devi. No one else would personally witness this. Only Shri Swarup Damodar and Shri Rai Ramananda were searching for him along with the beach throughout the night, loudly calling for him. Where are you? They came upon a fisherman who was trembling and weeping and uncontrollably crying out, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He called out to them, oh, I have been possessed by a ghost. I touched someone floating in the sea and I was caught by a ghost. Swarup Damodar assured him, I will remove the ghost, but show us the person you touched. He brought them to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was lying in the fisherman's net. It seemed he had no bones. All his joints were separated from each other. In Srimad Bhagavatam, such incidences are not described. Thus Mahaprabhu experienced the transcendental emotions of Radharani. In the mood of Yogini Radhika, Mahaprabhu would sometimes go to the Jagannath Vallabh garden near the Jagannath temple. At night time, the devotees would look for him and find him there. Sometimes they would find him lying unconscious among the cows who were eating leftover prasad by the temple, and all his limbs would be inside his body. These astonishing activities are described only in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there are 3 Radhas, and there are 3 Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. So I think the time is late. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpataruvesha kripa sindhivajavajanam pavanebhi vaishnavibhyo namo namo. So we'll carry next week. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Vishnu Daivata Maharaj, for the class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Happy Gaura Purnima to everyone. Keep on chanting, reading Gurudev's books. Thank you. Dandavats. Vanchakalpataruvesha kripa sindhivajavajanam. Hare Krishna. Dandavats.
Thank you everyone for joining the program today. Now we'll do the Jai Dhwani. Shishi Guru Gauranga Gadavika Giri Hari Radha Vino Bihari Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sata Shishima Bhakti-Vedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sata Shishima Bhakti-Vedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sata Shishima Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astotara Sata Shrimad Bhakti Pragyana Kesha Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Sotara Sata Shishila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Parama Bhagava Pravara Shishila Gaura Kishora Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Shishila Sachinanda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Nichalila Pravishta Vaishnava Savabhama Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Shri Maharaj ki jai, Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya, Shri Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushan Prabhu ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Srila Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Chaya ki jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Sat Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Swarup Damodar Raya Ramanandadi, Shri Gaura Pasada Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prema se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-Vrinda ki jai, Shri Annadvip Maya Puras, Samanda Dvip, Gorjam Dvip, Madhya Dvip, Kola Dvip, Tu Dvip, Janu Dvip, Mauja Jumadvip, Ruja Advip Patmaka Shri Navadvitam ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopi Govardhan Dwadasha Vanagmaka Shri Vaj Mandal ki jai, Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ganga Yamuna Tulasi Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shrimati Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sundarshana Chakra Ju ki jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala ki jai, Sava Vigna Shakari Shri Nrsingadev ki jai, Bhakta Pavara Shri Pala Maharaj ki jai, Chari Dham ki jai, Chari Sampradaya ki jai, Chari Acharya ki jai, Akara Mata Raja Shri Chaitanya Mat ki jai, Shri Shri Kaviraj Gaudiya Mat O Tas Shakha Mat Samuha ki jai, Granta Raja Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Bhatta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaura Purnima Hari Hari Bol. Thank you everyone for joining the class today. Hare Krishna Bandhavana.
Hare Krishna.